Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Learning Station. The fun fact that I brought today is the age of a giraffe can be calculated from its spots. The darker the spots, the older the giraffe. That's cool, isn't it? It's time for a recap. What we read in the previous video was that Peter and Jane had come to see the girl and boy they know already who live up the hill. Both the boys made boats and both the girls wanted to pick flowers from up the hill. They went to get the flowers and they were happy to find them, and the boys enjoyed playing with the boats they made by putting them in water and running along with the boats as shown in this picture. And they played till late afternoon. Later on, they went back home to have tea with both the girls. We have to read onwards from page number 32. Let's begin. Here they are again. The children are going to have tea. They are not in the house. They like to eat out in the sun by a tree. There are no chairs. It's fun out here, says Jane. She has some milk and then she talks to the boys about the walk to the top of the hill. We saw the sea, she says. Yes, says the other girl. We saw the sea and we saw the farm. The boys eat cake and talk about the fun they had with the boats and the water. We had to go into the water to get our boats out, says Peter. So, all the children have come out in the sun and they sat on the grass, take their tea and snacks. You can see Jane is taking some milk. The girls tell about how they saw the sea and how was their journey up the hill, and that they went to a farm as well. The boys eat cake and they have fun talking about how they made the boats and went into the water to get their boats out. Come to the house and see my dad draw, says the other girl to Jane. They go to the house and go to see her dad at work. He sits on a chair as he works. A cat is on the other chair. As the girl's dad draws, he talks to them. Have you had some fun? He asks. They talk to him about the walk they had and the things they saw. Now Jane and I are going for a walk with the boys, says the girl to her dad. They go down with the boys. The boys have a bag to take with them. There are apples in the bag. So, the other girl asks Jane to come home with her and see her dad draw. And when they come home, their dad enjoys talking to them while he works, and he asks them if they enjoyed their. And then all the children tell him what they did and what they saw. The other girl tells her father that we are going with the boys, and the boys are carrying a bag with which has apples in it. The children walk by the trees and the water. The girls look at the flowers as they go by. The boys look for rabbits and fish. Then Peter says, "Look down there. Can you see some men?" The other children look down. They can see men at work. "I can see two men," says Jane. There are more, says Peter. I can see more. Let's go down to see what they do. The boys and girls go on down the hill. They come to where the men work and sit down to look at them. The men have a fire. The fire is for them to make tea, says Peter. So, all the children walk by the trees and the water. Girls are in search of flowers. The boys try to find rabbits and fish. Then they come to a place where they can see some men at work. Peter says that look down there. As you can see in this picture, he's pointing towards where the men are standing, and Jane says that I can see two of them. Then Peter says let's go down there and see what they do. All the children go where the men work and sit down to look at them. Peter says that they have fire, maybe to make their tea. Peter looks in his bag and then they all have an apple. They eat the apples as they look at the men. There is no danger where they sit. They talk about the men and the work. They are big men, says Peter. You must be big to do work like that. I want to be big like that. Yes, I want to be a big man, says the other boy. I don't want to be so big, says his sister. I can read what it says there, says Jane. It says danger, men at work. We can all read it, says her brother. So all the children sit down and Peter finds apples from his bag and gives them to all of them. They all enjoy eating apples as well as looking at the men, what they are doing. Peter says that they are big men, and he says that I want to be a big man. The other boy says that he wants to be big as well. Meanwhile, Jane says that she can read the words as written on this board: danger, men at work. Her brother says that all of us can read these. The boys and girls go on down the hill. As they walk, they soon come to the farm again. One of them sees the dog at work with the man from the farm. Let's look at the dog at work, he says. The children all stop to look. I know that man, says Peter. Yes, and we know the dog, says Jane. He's a good dog. He likes children. The man can make the dog do what he wants. He can make him run or walk or stop. Now he makes him sit down. The dog likes the work, says Peter. You can see that. So the children walk down the hill, and as they walk, they come to the farm again. One of them looks at a dog who's at work with the man. Peter says that we know this man, and Jane says that we know the dog too. And she says that he's a good dog and he likes children. The man can make the dog whatever he wants him to do, and the dog likes the work, says Peter. You can see that. And in the picture you can see that this is the dog who's helping this man, and the children are just enjoying looking at the man and his dog. The man with the dog talks to Peter and Jane. Where are the other children? He asks. They said they had to go home, says Peter. They come from the house on the hill. They're going there now. The man from the farm talks about his dog and about the work he can do. The dog pulls at Jane. He wants to play now, says Peter. Jane plays with the dog. The dog pulls Jane and Jane pulls the dog. He likes to work and he likes to play, says the man. Come on, he says to the dog. Stop the game. We have more work to do now. As you can see in the picture that both Peter and Jane start playing with the dog. The man asks that where are the other children, and Peter and Jane tell that both the boy and the girl have gone back to their house up on the hill. Dog starts pulling Jane and Peter tells that now he wants to play, so Jane pulls the dog and the dog pulls Jane. Both of them enjoy. Then then the man says that we have work to do, so come on and stop the game. The two children are going home now. They come to the water. We have to jump this, says Peter. Come after me. I know how to do it. Come after me, but keep out of the water. Jane says, Mum said that we must keep out of the water. I know she said so, says Peter. I know how to do this now. Peter jumps again. You can do it, Jane, he says. Then Jane jumps. She says, Yes, I can do it. Look at me, Peter, I can do it. The children go on. Soon they will come to the street where they can get a bus. So the two children are going home now and they come to the water. Jane says that mother did not allow them to go into the water, but Peter says that I know how to do this and tells her to jump, and then both of them go on and they cross the water. Soon they will come to the street where they can get a bus to go back home. The new words that we learned are chairs, saw, had, bag, men, more, said, pulls, and that's all. So it's question time. Question number 1 is, whom did they go to meet after they had tea? My question number 2 is, what was written on the board where the men were working?